What's going on, guys? It is Sprout here and welcome back to the channel. Here I have a quick unboxing of the FormD T1 in E white, and then I will be doing a build guide with a little bit of a voiceover over certain steps to make it easy for you guys to follow along if you are building it for the first time. It is really fun and really satisfying once you're done. Let's go. Alright, so to start things off, we're going to take the PCI riser bar and we're going to attach some standoffs to it. You'll see me putting on some 5mm motherboard standoffs first, and then you will need two 20mm standoffs for the 3-slot position and then one 40mm standoff. Now here I am using a kit that I have that has all the different sizes. It makes it a little bit easier for myself, but you can use the standoffs that come with the case to get these exact sizes. And then I move on here to installing the official travel kit onto the back plate. I like to build around a GPU, and even if you don't have the travel kit, building around the GPU does seem to be the easiest way for me. After we install the travel kit, I go ahead and install the side struts here. So first we connect it to the front panel. Then once we get both sides connected to the front panel, we are going to then install it to the back plate, or the GPU in this case. When installing those bars on the side, it is important to keep it a little bit loose before you tighten everything down, just to make sure everything is squared. Also, you'll see here I do have a USB-C cable, and you're supposed to install that before you put the front panel on because the GPU is blocking it, so make sure you do that first. Then we install the PCIe riser bar. You can kind of see the overall shape everything is taking. And then we move on to installing the spine of the case. Now we're installing the motherboard standoffs that are remaining here on the spine. And then I just slide the motherboard in here. And we end up using these flat screws here to screw in that motherboard. After that's installed, we move on to the power supply bracket. Shout out to Aga here. I am using 5mm standoffs to add a little bit of a gap here between the GPU and the power supply. Again, you will notice I start installing the power supply, end up having to remove it because I forgot to install the front power button. Make sure you do that first as well. So now that I have that power button installed, we can move on to the power supply and getting that fully flush. Make sure it is completely flush with the front panel there, otherwise you can cause the side panels to bulge out. Once we have that all secured and flush, I route this power cable through and then I screw it in. I go across the back and the side of the motherboard here with that power cable, get that plugged in nice. And then I install the GPU cable and I thread it right behind. I do bring out some zip ties here, as I do find them pretty important for making things tidy. You'll see here I am zip tying the USB-C and the power cable together just to make it a little bit more tidy. And then I route the CPU cable and the motherboard power cable here. One thing to note is I don't plug in the motherboard cable yet. That's the last thing I do because I do want the AIO tubes to be below the cable. And then finally here, we're going to go ahead and install the radiator fan bracket on the slim fan. I do keep these kind of loose at first, just so I can get the correct position of them before I tighten them down. Here, I'm sort of just putting the AIO on top of the case here, so I can put that side bracket on so the tubes are below it. And then I go ahead and screw in the AIO bracket here onto the sidebar. I apply a generous amount of thermal paste, and then I connect it to the AIO. You'll see here I'm just managing some cables, making sure everything looks tight and neat. And then I thread that motherboard cable over the tubes and plug it in. Then finally, we install the case feet to the bottom panel. Attach that bottom panel. I do use these thumb screws for the bottom panel just to make sure it doesn't slide around. And then I can't forget the cable for the fans here to make sure they're all plugged in. I do have an extension cable just to make sure it reaches. And finally, we install the side panels and the top panel. And the case is complete. What do you think about it, guys? I mean, this E-white is just beautiful. If you guys have any questions about anything, please comment down below and I'll get to all of them. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot and I really appreciate you guys' feedback. Thank you so much. This is Sprout signing out. See ya.